Hello, welcome back to the channel. Tonight we're going to talk about planning, preparation and the aftermath of the Mourne Mountains 7 Sevens challenge that Stephen and myself completed 9 days ago. Now, I've sat down now with a groan. That's not from the pains or stiffness from the challenge itself. I went out for a 5k run this morning. It's the first real body movement I've done since it, which was 9 days ago. Still feeling the effects, maybe heavy legged, but anyway. Sort of brings me on to the first point, the aftermath. We'll start there. So we done it on a Friday, started Friday morning, finished on Friday evening. Stephen picked me up at the house about 6 o'clock on the Friday morning. Took us an hour to get to car park, where we started at 7 o'clock. Took us 10 hours, 21 minutes to complete. And then by the time we got back to the car, it was probably about 6 o'clock. Back into Lurgan at 7 o'clock. So we were on the go for 13 hours. When I got back in the house, what I felt, my body shutting down for about 2 to 3 hours afterwards, from 7 o'clock onwards. Shivers, cold shakes, stiffness obviously kicking in. When I was talking, I felt like I was mumbling and stuff, so this challenge, it's a beast, so it is. The next day, Saturday, wasn't too bad. I think I woke up buzzing, excited that we completed it. Sunday was when the muscle pains kicked in. Sore calves, sore glutes, sore shoulders, carrying a bag for 10 hours as well. Monday, went to work, again the same pains. Tuesday, slight less pains in the legs. Wednesday started to feel normal, so I gave myself sort of Thursday, went camping Friday night and Saturday off, just to really recover, and I felt that we needed it. Friday night when I got back, I had 1 tin of Guinness and a spicy chicken pizza, and that's all I could really muster up. Don't let that put you off, by the way, trying this challenge. Planning and preparation, get my Relive app out, and we'll talk about the route, the planning of the route and stuff. So, I said there a minute back, we started off at car park and we headed up towards Slieve Loch Shannon. We skirted it, we didn't go over the top of it, didn't think there was much point in adding another peak into the challenge. Skirted that, went to Slieve Meal Beg, the cul in between Slieve Loch Shannon and Slieve Meal Beg. Up over it, now this is where maybe mentally you need to be a wee bit strong, maybe, because it's a leg burner and it's the first one of the day, and you can see over the Slieve Binion your finish point, but obviously you have the horseshoe round over the other 6 peaks and 3 non-7 sevens. So you can see the finish point in sight. Realistically, you've probably another 10 hours hiking ahead of you. So then we dropped down into Slieve Meal Moor, into the Palafuca, up Slieve Berna, and into Herd's Gap, which would have been our first break of the day. So on this route, we've split it into sections. So that was section 1, your Slieve Meal Beg, Slieve Meal Moor, Slieve Berna. Break at Herd's Gap, where we allowed ourselves like 20 minutes per break, but we felt good. We had 10 minutes, had our sandwiches, which sort of brings you on to preparation. You do need to prep your food and all the night before, just everything ready, what you're going to bring, your gear. I should have said to start, we Vaselined our feet, soles of our feet, anywhere would sort of chafe up or anything like that there. Just get it well Vaselined up so there are no blisters or anything on the way. Thankfully, I never had any blisters. I wore trail runners round. Now, section 1 is a tough enough section. Took us 2 hours 50 to complete. Now, section 2, started section 2. This is from Herd's Gap. I loaded myself up with jelly babies at this stage. I wanted to get a bit of a sugar hit. As we went up Slieve Nacloch, across the Slieve Cora, which aren't in the 7 Sevens, but we done 10 peaks that day, and that was the 2 lesser peaks, which led on to Slieve Comida, down in the saddle, up Slieve Donard, Now they're obviously the two highest points in the Mournes, but this section I thought, again, planning it out, Stephen and myself thought this section probably would have been the easiest section, and probably did turn out that way. We did smash that one out in about 2 hours 40, 2 hours 45 minutes as well. Stephen had a bit of a five problem going up Sleeve Comedy, which, not saying slowed us down obviously, but it just sort of did add a few more extra minutes on. Although he done well to get back into the swing of it. Going up Sleeve Comedy and out towards the cairn and back in. Going into the saddle, you do generally pick up pace. And we used that maybe to sort of slingshot ourselves up Sleeve Donard, if that made sense. And then when we came back down, we could see the point of the end of the section 2, which would be Sleeve Beg, the cairn at Sleeve Beg at the brandy pad. We had lunch there, again, peanut butter, jam sandwiches, and a barbecue chicken sandwich, and a dairy milk, and a tin of Lucozade, which I think did stand us in good stead. Now this section number 3, this is the killer section for me, so it was. Again, you had to do a peak, which isn't in the sevens. Sleeve Beg. It's not an overly big pull up. It's 15 minutes probably from the cairn up to the summit. You go past the Devil's Coach Road, and then you have to drop to not the foot of Cove Mountain obviously, but you can see the edge of Cove Mountain, that rocky path. And weeks leading up to that, I thought you could maybe skirt around the bottom of Cove Mountain, but realistically, I'm not lying about it, you probably had to go up 80% of it to start skirting around. And then you could see Sleeve Lambic in front, which was a godsend. We got across it, and then we dropped down. And now if you've done Sleeve Lambic, you know it's going to be a beast coming down. Just rocks, there's no defined path or anything in it. So we got down it. It's probably our toughest descent of the day, and that's including the descent down Sleeve Mealmore into Sleeve Bernalak. But now, when we got to the Bencombe Junction, I did say in the video that mentally for weeks leading up to this, I couldn't get my head round looking at near 350 metres up for your last climb. And at this stage, we might have been 8.5 hours in, just looking up, going, how are we going to do this? Now, this was a wee bit of planning on the hike. When we came down off Sleeve Lambic, we could pinpoint 3 sections, 3 bite-sized sections, I would call them, that you could tackle it mentally and physically. You had the Buzzard's Roost, where you could stop and look over Ben Crum. That was section number 1. And then the North Tour of Sleeve Binion, and then across to the summit, which was a long, I think it was 1 kilometre slog, just flat ground, flat enough sort of ground, but it was just heavy legged, and it was just 1 foot in front of the other. Now in the build up to this, Stephen sort of texted during the week, oh, we're going to be able to do this, and I sort of just put it to like, take the hills out of it, mountains out of it, and realistically it's a 14-mile walk that I had put in my head mentally. And I thought to myself, wow, from Lurgan, where I live, to the far end of Moira and back, could I walk it? Yes, I could. So I thought to myself, mentally, we could do this 14, 15 mile, whatever it ended up to be, coming down off Sleeve Binion. I said Sleeve Lambic was probably the hardest descent, but Sleeve Binion, following the wall down, it's probably when the legs started to go, started to feel muscle pains again. My left knee was locking. It was just, I couldn't get it out fully, extended fully straight or anything. And then if you know the Carrick little track, down to the bottom car park, where again, preparation and planning, we had planned for Neely and Heller to pick us up, to bring us back to that car park. It's a long slog. It's a long 20 minutes, half an hour. If you're going to do this route, fitness-wise, I would say you would need to be relatively fit, definitely, for this. Mentally strong as well, definitely. Like I said at the start, I could have bailed out at Sleeve Mealbeg and that was only an hour into the hike. First peak was 6 to go. A couple of other stages maybe, but when we got to Sleeve Beg at lunchtime, I think Stephen and myself both agreed that the challenge was beat by then, and it was just 2 more peaks. And again, I spoke about breaking stuff into sections and bite-sized sections. That last section was never going to beat us, I don't think. Again, I said to Stephen, or Stephen said to me, this last section, when you get to here, it's just a day hike. Mentally, that's what you have to think, a day hike, and you get home. And trust me, that feeling, when maybe you get home and you get a tin of beer or just a big pint of water, whatever is your thing, it did feel great. It was buzzing. Now the aftermath there might have sounded shocking or hard. The whole sections and planning and preparation might sound a lot, but the feeling you do get at the end and the next day, and when you're talking to people, yes, you do get excited and the buzz does come back. I've been asked many a times since I've done this, and maybe Stephen has as well, would I do it again? If you asked me Friday night, no, I wouldn't have done it. If you asked me Saturday, yes, definitely I'd do it again. But I'm not going to be doing it next week, put it that way. So I'll maybe do it for charity or something, or a group hike with other people. Just if they wanted to do it, get them into it as well. Talk about lunches and stuff. I had 2 peanut butter and jam sandwiches, 2 barbecue chicken and cheese sandwiches, 3 energy gels, packet of jelly babies, a tin of Lucozade. We started with 2 litres of water, but we knew the pipe on Cometa would get us another litre, so we downed a litre of water in that sort of first section and a half, filled it up again, and we needed it all. Going across the last section, section number 3 between Sleeve Lamigan and Sleeve Binion, we started loading up with electrolytes as well, which replace obviously salts and stop you cramping up. Which, by the way, I never got any cramps during that night or anything, or the next day, so they must have worked. But this isn't a lecture by me or anything, or professionalism, trust me, I'm not there. It's just a little, hopefully, tips, and hopefully this will help people out. But I'd strongly advise, again, we've done this preparation for about a year maybe in the making, of just constant, week after week probably, and camping and all, it does add to it, carrying extra weight up the hills and mountains. You do need to be prepared for it. So you do, it's a 15-mile walk, hike, 10 peaks. We done it in 10 hours, 21 minutes, which was a smashing time, by the way, I thought. We did allow ourselves 12 to 14 hours. 14 hours was maybe with injuries. If one of us pulled up or something, I don't think we were ever going to quit it. We would have just, Stephen always said he would have crawled up Sleeve Binion, the last one, to finish it and complete it. So on that note, just be prepared for it. But if you do complete it, and I know I've been talking to people, Ashley Arnold, Darren from Footslogger and the likes, you do get an awful buzz off it, so you do. And I've been buzzing, it's 9 days now. And Stephen's been the same, talked about it possibly every day of the week. Well, every day, the 9 days since it. What a feeling it's done to us, you know. We're looking for more now. He's looking through knife edge books, the mountain books, and looking for different challenges. So we're going to be planning ahead again on them and getting their fitness up even more, hopefully. But just be prepared for that. And I'll just leave this video here. By the way, I'm in Lurgan Park, great setting. But of course it started raining, so I'll wrap it up. And that's just a wee midweek bonus video. If you like the channel and all, subscribe, wee thumbs up. So I'll see you all on Friday night again.